What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Everyday Real Talk. And today I want to talk a little more about dreams, right? I know last time that I talked, I said I wanted to kind of do a little mini series on it. And today's episode, I want to talk more on the subject of why we tend to have familiar people who show up in our dreams. Excuse me, I just had a cupcake. Something I didn't need, but it was good. But anyway, I want to talk a little more on why familiar people tend to show up in our dreams, because some of us take that as the dream is telling us something about that person, or it must be something going on with that person, something sneaky going on, or something is going to happen, which is typically what we may tend to think. Because I had those type of dreams before, to where I felt like it must be something about that person, because else would they show up in our dreams? But in reality, people show up in our dreams because our subconscious uses people that are from things and people who are familiar to us to get things across to us, so that we can relate more to them, that we can pay more attention to them. If you use somebody that I know, I'm going to pay attention to that rather than just some random person being in my dream. It's going to mean more to me because you put somebody in there that I know. But the thing is to not get so wrapped up in that person to where we don't pay attention to what that dream was actually trying to reveal to us. Because I believe that's one of the biggest misunderstandings about our dreams, is that the people who are typically in our dreams are who the dream is about. Sometimes we see people that we haven't even thought about or seen in years. I know I have. But dreams use people because they provoke certain memories. They bring to mind certain time periods, certain eras in our life, certain experiences that we've had. They also bring up certain traits that we have that shows us different parts of ourselves. So any way that subconscious mind can get something across to us in a way that's going to get our attention or get us to understand it, it's going to use it. It's going to use that to its advantage to communicate with us. And sometimes that person in our dreams pops up because they're bringing into mind a certain pattern or emotion that's connected to them, because our subconscious speaks in association. For example, when I've had dreams about old friends, they bring about a certain nostalgia to me. What I was doing at that time, how I felt at that time. I dreamt. Which one is it? But I dreamed me and my friends walking to the movies to see Purple Rain. And it just brought about a good feeling to me because I felt free at that time. It was like during that time, I think I was just giving my first little bit of freedom, not being so monitored. You understand what I'm saying? And the next morning, I woke up playing songs that were out at that time. And it just brought about a good feeling to me. It took me back to childhood, just like I said, what I was doing at that time, how I felt at that time. And that was just a good, playful, fun dream at that time. Like I said, can reveal certain patterns, certain just nostalgia. They don't always have to teach you things. Sometimes they just evoke the emotions that you need to have at that time, just for you to feel free, for you to feel happy, not take everything so serious. Just relax. Go back to this feeling to when you didn't have worries, that type of thing. But also, I've had dreams about exes. And I would be so irked the next day, like, why am I having a dream about this person? I don't want this person. I have no thoughts or could give, you know, I definitely didn't want them in my dreams. But for some reason, this person popped up in my dreams. It wasn't anything romantic going on in the dream, but I feel like it represented an unresolved emotion that I had around that relationship that I didn't know that I still carry. And also made me look at something that happened to me that I still carry, that I didn't need to ignore anymore. I had to deal with that feeling in order to release it. So, sometimes having a dream about a person is not having a desire, it didn't mean that I missed that person or wanted that person back, but it was just an unresolved emotion surrounding that person and attached to that time period of my life. Now, in the dream that I had recently, where I told you I realized that I cared more about how people perceive me than I thought I did. It used my husband to evoke that emotion out of me of how I really felt about that. Because the people represented the perception and judgment of me. And then the dream revealed my internal concern about that perception. So when you start paying attention to your dreams the way that I do, you'll find that dreams often communicate through symbols, through patterns, exaggeration. Like, just taken to the extremes, is like how I felt in that dream when I said, if you don't tell me what they said or what you know, I'm going to divorce you. And that was really extreme. You go from that's really taking it 0 to 100. But that just shows you how much I cared about that. I know that it's easy to misinterpret dreams of what they mean because we get too focused on like the character and who appeared in the dream and not what the dream is interpreting. But look at the person as a costume that the message is wearing, because the message is the most important part, not the person in the dream. So instead of asking why was that person there, ask yourself, how did you feel? What did they represent to you? What pattern or emotion stood out at that time? And most importantly, what is happening in your life emotionally right now? Because that's where your answer is going to lie. Tell yourself the feeling of the dream actually matters more than who appeared in the dream and the actual storyline of the dream. The bigger side of things is that dreams reveal hidden emotions, expose insecurities, reveal hidden desires. They highlight growth, and they process different experiences that we had. So in closing, just remember that the people in our dreams aren't always there because it's about them, but maybe it's our minds trying to tell us something through them. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode, but I got 2 to 3 questions for you to reflect on so that you can examine your dreams a little more. Who appears in your dreams most often, and what do they emotionally represent to you? Have you ever realized a dream was revealing something about you instead of the other person? I know I have. Since I'm looking at things from a broader perspective and then from a spiritual side of things, I know that it's always about me. It's never about that other person. Even when you think it's about that other person, it's still about you. If you look at it, what you're seeking is not outside of you, it's inside of you. You're always asked to look inside for clarity to things. It's always going to be inside of you. But anyway, and the last question is, what emotion shows up most often in your dreams lately? And guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Everyday Real Talk. I appreciate you guys coming back and tuning in, listening to me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button to let you know when I do upload new content. Also, leave something in the comments for me. Let me know if you've had any familiar dreams or has your dreams revealed anything to you lately as well. And I will talk to you guys next time. I love you guys. Bye.